Hello friends, this is Growl. In this series, I start with a brand new character in World of Warcraft. No previous achievements, no gold, no anything. Fresh at max level with no connections to see how far I can go. The one catch, I recorded every single minute of the journey and I explained my thought process and decision making along the way. Whether you're just looking to improve your skills and pug your way up, or you just want to come along for the ride, I hope you guys enjoy. Well, here we are. Back on the grind. We've been gaming pretty late at night. You can see our options are a little bit limited. And the fact that we're not getting accepted makes me feel a little better. Oh, well, so part of the reason that the options may feel limited is that if the group leader sets a minimum item level that's higher than yours, you can't even see the game. So it may look like, you know, nothing's going on in WoW this late, but it's probably the case that lots of stuff is going on, but no one wants anybody of our level. All right, well, let's just go queue, I guess. Let's go back into some heroics. We were able to get some Mythic 0 practice, so these heroics should be cake. Oh, nice, we instantly found a game. We instantly found a queue. We can buy a 230 item now. We have 5,000 gold. Let's hold off though. Let's wait as long as we can to buy it because, for example, like we bought this 200 piece, but then we got a 197 piece pretty quickly after that. So wait as long as we can, maybe try and do a few more Mythic Zeros. We'll buy a piece and go from there. And then once I'm pretty confident we can throw this Halls +2 in. If we can trick some people into playing with us. All we need to do is find a tank. If we can trick a tank into playing with us, then it's all over from there. And yeah, I'm pretty optimistic about our idea of gearing up through only dungeons. You know, if this was a character that I really super cared about, I would start doing some of the single player stuff. I would try and get my legendary, but yeah, I don't know. We can just keep slamming out dungeons. I'm confident, actually. I thought this whole process in the beginning levels would take a long time, but here, let's see. Can we sell any of this in the auction house? I wonder what item level we need to be, because I'm sure there are some more Mythic 0 groups. Alright, so we have some friends from Bartholus. Bartholus is one of the Oceanic servers. So these guys are probably midday or something. Like Australia or something. See, looks like we're being sneaky, trying to avoid as much as we can, trying to follow the tank as closely as I can, being really careful not to pull stuff, but it looks like there's some people behind us that had other plans. We're gonna ramp up here to do some big healing right away. Drop our Cloud Burst, pop our Ascendance. This is scary. Somebody's doing some damage though. Somebody's doing some good. So these hatchlings here, we already had the mishap with the tentacle. These hatchlings spawn from these nests. And in order to stop them from spawning, you got to go back and kill that nest. I think our team is realizing what happened and now we're going back. Oh boy, and then we managed to pull some more guys. We'll pop our Spirit Walkers since we're trying to get as quickly to the tank as we can. We're having some problems here. I think we'll be okay though. Somebody in here is doing some good damage. It says that this guy's a Windwalker on my details. Rising Sun Kick. Do we even have a tank? This guy is a Windwalker. What item level is he? 239. Okay, so I guess we're back with this. So I guess this guy queues as a tank to try and find a group, and then switches to DPS and just kills everything. So we'll be going through this dungeon with no tank. I assume because this guy's such a high level that he's probably still gonna have... Or no, he threw a keg. Okay, maybe... Okay, look, I don't know what happened there, but Get out of this thing here. Looks like our team decided not to do that. Use our Fey transfuse. I don't even know if the cast went off. Oh, this rogue has to be really high too. 244 this guy is? Alright, so I guess we sort of see, I don't know, I guess if you want to get some free gear and gear up into like 190, 180 item level, you can pretty much just queue heroics as any role, and it seems like at least one out of every group gets one of these guys who can just kill everything. So maybe not the most exciting content, but it's what you gotta do, it's what you gotta do. And it's a really good opportunity if you're just learning to learn your keybinds and practice stuff and sneak around to the side again. We're starting to get the gist of the route. Starting to figure out exactly what people like to do. I assume this should go pretty quick. This little barrel icon, if you will, is a pretty nasty disease. Having a shaman in this dungeon can feel like a pretty big disadvantage sometimes, because you can't remove diseases. Druids and shamans cannot. The other healer can. Oh yeah, we're destroying these guys. Okay, we're having another attempt at running these plague borers down to try and blow up the next pack. Looks like it might work, honestly. Looks like we're doing it. Although using the plague borers is a bit silly since these guys are so geared, they probably do more damage than the plague borers do. Alright, well, we're already on the second boss. Love that for us. Is this Moonkin high level too? This guy's 200. That's really high. I guess that's not that high, but pretty high for heroic dungeons. Since what level is the loot we're getting? 197. Pretty high. To find someone that's 200 item level that still wants to do heroic. This is chaos. Start pressing buttons, throw our healing tide down. Now you guys get the gist. There's chaos, you start pressing our big buttons. Did I loot the first boss? I might have forgot to loot the first boss. That would have been a tragedy. Maybe the loot will get mailed to me though. We could still use a lot of different stuff to upgrade. Alright, so these guys are going the sneaky way. Gotta be careful going too close over here because you can actually just fall off the edge. I don't know if they're all a group of friends or what's going on, but they all seem to be on the same page. Gotta do some group healing. We can throw down a healing rain. I think there's spiders there. Those spiders channel a really long cast and then they jump on people. Oh jeez. Alright, we got lots of mobs. It's time to press Ascendance. Yeah, these guys are super good. But these guys are dying quick. Hopefully we can just get our loot and our renown and get out of here. By the time we're high enough gear to do Mythic Plus, we'll be close to renown 40. I wonder at what point are people going to start commenting on our gear, the fact that we don't have a legendary or anything if we're joining groups. Man, Plaguefall just doesn't treat us very well. We got these shoulders. Well, I guess we got some Mythic 0 shoulders. Okay, so we got one Mythic 0 piece, but replaced a already high piece that we had. We kind of need to stop getting Plaguefall. I feel like we've gotten a couple different pieces from Plaguefall already. We need a trinket really bad. So one thing we can do is we can look at loot and we can look at the dungeon journal. We can see what sorts of loot is in there. But there's a ring and a trinket. Seems like we've lost some of our team. I don't know where they went, but yeah, so we can look in the dungeon journal, and if there's a specific piece, let's say we upgrade all of these greens except for this belt, we can kind of look in the dungeon journal and see which dungeons drop a belt, and we can only queue for those. But hopefully by that point we've moved on to a higher difficulty anyway. Well, I imagine this boss we probably won't see too many mechanics with a group like this. Looking forward to when the content gets challenging. Come on, give me some loot. No, man. Got this ooze trinket and this cloak. That cloak is an upgrade for him. Yeah, this is, I assume, the path that most people are going to do. Is they're going to do their Covenant campaign first. Because it's a good way, especially if you're new, you have to knock out that campaign anyway, I think. And it's a good way to get some free gear. You can kind of avoid this step, but I don't really mind this step anyway. Fortunate, though, we didn't get an upgrade. Let's see if we can... Let's keep trying to queue into Mythic 0 groups. Anyone foolish enough to take us. Tazavesh. Getting into a Tazavesh group would be pretty sweet. Our options are very limited. I think we might have to go back into the Heroic Group Finder. M0. There's a few M0 groups, but none of them need a healer. I guess another option to help get into some more groups is if you played multiple roles. If I was able to play tank or DPS or anything, might make it easier to find some groups, but you know, we're just working our way up as a healer. Try one more refresh. +3. Let's just apply. Like, what's the worst that can happen if we apply to a key? What's the worst thing that could happen? Like, they PM us and they're mean to us or something? Also, I kind of want to verify just to make sure that no one can see that I'm on like some sort of alt or something. But based off of the fact that we're not getting accepted into any of these groups, looks like maybe we just fluked into the last couple Mythic Zeros that we got into. Alright, looks like we might be banished back to Heroic Dungeon Finder. Raid Finder is another option, actually. I'm not necessarily that interested in doing Raid Finder, but this is another source of getting... Oh, what? They accepted us. What in the world? Alright, let's... Why did they accept us? Hi. See what they say. Hold on, let me show the chat. What made you decide to invite me? I guess this is a very awkward question. This is a very awkward question if it doesn't show my rating or anything. And he's just like desperate for a fifth guy. Alright, this is good. This is good so far. I should just shut up now. Never mind. I should just shut up now. Oh, I love this answer. I love this answer. Oh, I meant to type a smiley face. I'm not a big smiley face typer. You're a healer. You love that for us. Wow, who would have thought? We go from our first normal dungeon to heroics to mythics to mythic plus. This will be our first mythic plus. And oh, and he says, and I have lust. Hell yeah. See, I'm gonna say use on first pull or save for boss. Because generally speaking, this is one of the dungeons where you actually want to lust the first pull. But they may get weirded out if I do that. Because a lot of times groups and pugs might just save it for the boss. So I'll ask, you know. We're new, we don't really know what's going on, so we'll ask. Oh man, I'm a little nervous. My guy does not have very much of gear. 177 item level. Oh my god, they summoned me. This is awesome. Alright. People from Bartholus are friendly, I guess. Or drunk. One of the two, but they don't even want to talk to me. Hey, I'm just gonna shut up. I'm just gonna shut up. I got into this group. I'm not gonna complain. Okay. The tank said, probably boss. DPS will truck everything down easily. Wait a second. This guy is 250 item level. What in the world? What's this guy? 242? Wait, what's going on? I mean, we'll take it. Is this just what gearing a new character is? You just get carried in no matter what level you're doing? We'll take it. I don't know what these guys are doing, why they're in here, why they're inviting me. But let's play. So one thing you see that's happened, I think, a few times in groups now is the tanks will mark themselves. And while you can assign different little symbols to either allies or enemies, and a good thing to do is you can mark your tank with a symbol just to make them a little bit more visible. You can see how it has this big blue square. It might look a little bit silly now, but once a lot of the stuff gets grouped up together and there's lots of stuff to fight, it might be a little more obvious. So this guy has all eye level 200 gear. You see this crafted gear this guy has? It's all 200. Maybe I can buy some of this. Maybe some of this might be cheap, actually. This is looking... For some reason, I thought all of the crafted gear was only single equip, but maybe I can buy some of this with some of the gold that I have. Dude, the item level we're gonna get for this is crazy. Yo, if we get a weapon, oh man. Weapon, even though this trinket is really junky. Oh man, we can get a legendary from this too? Okay, alright, we're going. So this is something you'll see too. People will do a countdown timer. That's because some skills actually reset before you put in the keystone, and if you use them beforehand, you get the benefit for a few seconds and then they reset right away. Alright. So this format that we're doing here is quite a bit different. This is called Mythic Plus, and this is why we're all here. This is the end game format for dungeons, and you can see now we actually have a UI here. We have a timer, we have an enemy forces bar, and all this is going to be important. Now there's a few differences between all of the other formats we did in Mythic Plus. So the most obvious one is that we have a timer now. And if we don't complete the dungeon in time, it's considered a like a failed run, if you will. And the loot that we get is reduced. Also, we're required to kill a certain amount of enemies in the dungeon. We can't just skip everything. we can't just skip everything. We got to kill at least some stuff, which most of the time isn't a problem. But you saw, like, for example, the way that we did Plaguefall in that run before, that would not fly in a Mythic Plus. We would not have enough percentage. Alright, so this guy I think is going to do some big damage. So we're going to drop our Healing Rain, our Cloud Burst. Nothing too scary. Guess it's hard to say. These guys got pretty high level gear. Alright, well. So, honestly, no matter what difficulty we're doing, it sort of just all feels the same at this point. Maybe it's because we always got really geared people, but looks like we're first in line to get some big loot. And see, every time there's these mobs that sit in the back and start casting, I try and use my interrupt on at least one of them. And we can drop our Cloud Burst and our Healing Rain. So use our Bay Transfusion here just for a little bit of extra damage. Save up a heal for later. And now you can see when you're doing Mythic Plus and you're playing with a little bit more experienced players, these guys are going fast, right? As soon as one pack is dead, they're running into the next one. And it won't always be the case, but you can see that, you know, the timer is definitely part of this format. These guys are playing for the timer, that's for sure. These guys are doing a lot of damage. But, you know, we're helping contribute too. We're doing our job. It looks like we don't have a Venthyr, so we're not able to take these Stoneborn and make them our allies, which is unfortunate. I thought Subtlety Rogue plays Venthyr, but I may be mistaken. Since I know I have a defensive, I'm going to dispel somebody else. We can use our Ascendants here too, since we're taking a lot of damage. Now this is a dungeon where most of the enemy forces that we need to take care of are in the very beginning. So you can see we're already above 50% and we haven't even fought a single boss yet. And this is pretty typical. In an organized group you may even go all the way up to 80% before you fight the first boss. You can see our tanks getting hit a little bit, you know. In the previous dungeons, we haven't needed to do too much tank healing. But in this dungeon, you can see our tanks getting beat up a little bit. Some of the mobs are starting to hurt. If anything, this guy's probably a little bit better than most of the guys that we played with. So we'll use our Bloodlust here on the first boss as instructed by our team. Get out of this. So since we're running out of space, I'm gonna kind of move my guy into the corner a little bit just to buy us a little bit more room since we're running out of space very quickly. Still running out of space. Alright, we can't even loot the boss, right? Because it's a Mythic Plus, there's no loot until the very, very end. There's a chest that you open up. Remember, we're following the tank. Whatever the tank decides to do. He wants to kill this stuff. He wants to go over here, so we kill it. Oh, one thing is funny is I don't have any invisibility potions. So this is an area that can be a little bit dangerous as you start to get into harder content, and you generally just try and skip all this stuff. There's potions that you can buy in the auction house that make your guy invisible and let you sneak by stuff. And it's a good idea when you're doing Mythic Plus to always have some handy. However, I do not have some handy because I did not plan on doing any Mythic Plus. So maybe we'll just buy like 1 or 2 of them or something, because we don't want to spend too much of our gold. Oh, Rogue also has this Shroud of Concealment that turns everyone invisible. Kind of forgot about that one. You may find varying willingness in these random groups of people to do skips. You know, some people are really into skips and they think that you should definitely do the dungeon a certain way and you have to skip this stuff. And other people don't even like to do them because they feel like it's not worth the risk of, you know, things going wrong or accidentally pulling a pack or whatever. Your mileage may vary.
4, 3, 2.
Gosh, even this stuff does not do very much damage. Okay, so we're going to dispel ourselves and we're going to use our Night Fae ability to get out of the circle. If you're far away from the boss, you can just run in a straight line and Ghost Wolf just to get out of that. But we'll use our Night Fae ability. That's going to be sort of like our default how do we get out of trouble button. Oh, that's again. Now we'll step further away from the boss and be a go.
4, 3, 2.
That would be the other way that we can escape from danger. It seems like everything is targeting us. Could be a little scary. I'll show this too. You see that these two guys posted this message showing how much we need percent-wise. It says 0. That is a weak aura. Or sort of like a custom script that'll check your percentage and it'll tell you. Like the rest of the dungeon, now that we're in this, you know, castle or whatever, is pretty straightforward. There's only so much that you can fight. So that weak aura sort of reminds you, says, hey, if we didn't have enough enemy forces, it would come up a little message that was like, hey, we still need stuff. Like a little bit of a reminder. Pick this guy in the back and help kind of get him in. Seems like everything's going pretty reasonably. Again, I'm already used to trying to loot stuff. I keep mousing over stuff and I'm not able to loot it. Alright, so now we're on the 3rd boss. This is basically the same speed as all of our other dungeons. This boss, you can see, our health bars don't do much. So now this is the first time we've had this ghost on us. So here's what we do. We run behind these little lanterns. And then the lanterns will eat the ghost. And while the ghost is active, it'll pulse damage. So there's a little bit of an urgency to drag it in there. I think it will actually smack you too if you let it get too close. You gotta be careful. You can see our damage is not super high compared to, you know, we're a healer, we're not supposed to do that much damage, but we can still contribute and speed things up a little bit. Alright, so previously when we do this room, we just kind of focus this guy down and kill him as fast as we can. Looks like that's what we're going to try as well. Looks like the difficulty isn't quite there to stop us from doing that. Kind of walk over here. Stairs can be our worst enemy. We're blazing. We're blazing. Well, we're gonna get some valor for this too, man. I really hope we get a drop. Alright, so we gotta watch out for these statues. These are gonna hurt. This one's pointed this way. You can see it where it's moving there. Luckily, none of them going on us. So on Mythic, all of these statues need to have somebody there. You can see both of. You can see how precise this is. Everyone needs to be standing in line. I'm actually taking a lot of damage, so I popped my Astral Shift. I probably should have done it a bit earlier, but I'm kind of testing the waters here. I want to see how much damage all this stuff does. This one might hurt me a lot. We're going to press our Healing Tide right away. Be ready to use Ascendance too if we need to. Taking lots of group damage, so we'll pop our Ascendance. Luckily, our DPS is quite high. I think we prevail. Wow, that was a very easy dungeon. We got an achievement for doing our first Mythic Plus in this group. Oh no, someone got an item. Oh, we got a neck. We got a 213 neck and a hyena soul. This is big for us. This is big for us. Okay, so we got some, or maybe we had this in our inventory the whole time. Let's equip this neck. So we actually got an upgrade. Fortunately, we wasted the gold on that, but I guess we needed the gold to get into the heroic, and maybe the heroic got us into the mythics. Who knows? Who knows if that was important? I'm tempted to change my key here. So after you complete one of these runs, now I have this key in my inventory. It's assigned to Halls of Atonement. I've already done this dungeon, and I've already got a loot. Got an item. Okay, so our hunter has pinged a level 6 dungeon, a level 6 the other side, and he said, if anyone's keen, I feel like we need, do we, whatever. I'm just gonna say sure. I'm just gonna say sure. I don't know if he's gonna take me, but I'm gonna say sure. Whenever you run with a group and things go well, you definitely want to try to go again. I wasn't going to be the one to initiate it, but if the tank says yes, then he says heading there now. Alright, we're in Group Finder for a +6. I don't know if they forgot that we're 178 item level, or they just really believe in us. Like, we have 5 items that are fresh 60 items at level 148. Okay, this guy's 200 item level, 222. Oh my gosh. This is very good for us. I'm a little worried about our other teammates though. I mean, this guy was doing pretty good damage. He's doing 5k overall. Oh no, he's 220 item level. Okay. He's got a legendary. Oh my god. If these guys realize how low my gear is, I don't know if they forgot or what their deal is, but we're just gonna stay quiet from here on out. Oh man, I'm surprised we're not taking this guy. He's 222 item level. I'm 178. This is what life is like if you're a DPS, I guess. I'm just gonna hurry up and get to the dungeon before they realize what's happening. Okay, we have a new calling today, so we're gonna come over and grab this. Let's see what it is. Maldraxxus. Dang it. So we actually could have gotten credit for this if we would have taken this at the before we did our Plaguefall. Oh well, I'm not going to complain. We got a Mythic Plus item in our inventory. I don't know if people from my friends list can see me in the group. I'm kind of like standing watch, waiting for something weird to happen. I keep worrying that my cover is going to be blown or something weird's going to happen. So far, so good. Return lost souls. Let's go grab this quest. I think we already grabbed it, didn't we? Is there another quest over here? No. Let's see, we can probably unlock some new things here. Okay, only one. And we don't have any more potencies. These are both for elemental shaman, and that isn't us. So I'm actually just gonna go here. I'm just gonna pick this just because this is the only other one we can use, really. I don't know if we're being picky or why we don't want this guy. This poor guy. All right, we took him. He waited for 4 minutes for us, and we finally took him. Hopefully he doesn't click on us. Oh, so he joined the group and he was a healer spec. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, are we getting kicked? Okay, now we switched to damage. Okay, good. Let's check out those items to see if there's anything we can buy that's cheap. All upgrades. My funds are quite limited. So I can actually see how you can, this right here shows my target, and this to the right of it shows who it's targeting. So I'm kind of clicking on these guys, making sure they're not targeting me, because if they click on me and realize my health and realize my gear, I might be in trouble. But for now, our cover has not been blown. This guy is 199 item level. His rating is 0, so he's never done a dungeon before. So we actually have a rating now. Mythic Plus score 75. Nice. Yeah, so it shows up. So I can pull up my profile here. A website called Raider.io. This is where you can look up more data on people's stuff, and you can see my dungeon is already logged here. And you can't see where this character is from. No one can see that it's mine, I think. Okay, we got 5. All right, we got 5. I'm not gonna lie, I remember my progress when I was a new player and I first started playing the game, and you know, it took me, gosh, I don't know how long I spent doing like other single player stuff and doing like normal dungeons, but to think about being in my first Mythic Plus within the first 10 hours of my character being created is like terrifying. I remember doing Mythic for the first time, and like Mythic was a big deal. And now somehow with this character I ended up in not only a Mythic Plus but a +6. Dude, this may not go well. I don't want this to seem like I'm just gonna be able to carry this and be amazing. With this level of gear and a +6, we could very well be in trouble. This might be a very difficult dungeon to heal, but so far nobody's noticed. The key is we need to start the run. If we can start the run before they notice my character, then we'll be in good shape. I'll put Earth Shield, you know, make it look like I know what's going on here. Honestly, my heart's kind of racing now. I'm kind of excited. This is like more excited than I was. I was doing a +28 key earlier today, and this is probably more excited than I was in that when I'm sitting in this +6. All right, here we go. Here we go. We're ready. 10 seconds before they're trapped in this run with me. We did it. All right. Now let's do the dungeon. This is going to be by far the most challenging run yet. Let's see what's going on. Oh, he's going. He's just going. It feels like our tank knows what's going on. For a 200 eye level tank, this guy seems pretty confident. Okay, so right away we got stuff to dodge, so we're gonna pop our Spirit Walker's Grace here. Our tank is starting to run low. Oh my gosh, we have an affix. We have an affix on the key. I wasn't even ready to explain to you guys how this stuff worked. So we have 2 affixes on the key right now. The first one is Tyrannical. Every week it's either going, in Mythic Plus, the highest level of difficulty for dungeons, it's either going to be Tyrannical, which means all the bosses are stronger, or Fortified, which means that all the trash mobs are stronger. And not only is it tyrannical, but it's also bursting, which means that every time a mob dies, it puts a debuff on, almost like a bleed, sort of a magic bleed on our party. We're starting to take some heavy damage. I'm gonna pop my ascendants here. We're trying to remember what we learned, but you can see the consequences of our actions are much more severe. The party health is fluctuating much greater than it was before. But so far, so good. You can see here, the health bars right now, when we're not even fighting, are lower than probably they've ever been. And we may actually have to find our mana bar and put our mana bar on our screen. Just because we're actually having to press buttons now. So we're trying to remember what we learned. Keep using our Riptides on cooldown. If we're fighting some stuff, make sure our Cloud Burst is down. Keep throwing up those Riptides. Now there's a lot more healing to do, right? Now very often there's going to be people that are low health. And since we're a little concerned with our mana now, so we're going to start using Healing Wave just a little bit more until we get more comfortable with what's going on here. Every time this bursting comes out, we're able to dispel one person. And we want to try and make good use of that and dispel whoever we think is in danger. Okay, so we managed to pull these guys up here. These are the guys that get that channel cast off and then summon the birds. We noticed it out of the corner of our eye and threw down a capacitor totem. Stun them. With this team comp that we don't have too many area of effect stuns. So our capacitor totem is actually going to be pretty valuable. We can use it effectively. Again, remember, these Hexer guys have a big heal. So I'm actually holding on to my interrupt to use it on that big heal. Okay, this is going to be the first time that I'm going to use Manatide Totem. Because it's the first time I've needed mana. Oh, alright, he said any Night Fae. I forgot I'm Night Fae. So that means I can click on this thing here. Looks like our hunter's doing it though. Nice. Oh, here's a guy far away here. I'm gonna go over here and use my interrupt on him. Try and bring him in. Here's that healing wave. We're gonna interrupt that. And although Hex sounds like something that's good to interrupt, we can always remove that Hex. So we're not too worried about it. If the Hex ends up getting off, we can just remove it from somebody. I kind of want to put something that'll show my mana on my screen. Maybe we'll do that after this boss, assuming that we live. Alright, our tank says Lust here. Got it. And now we're DPSing. And we're not DPSing because we're trying to be big and tough. We're DPSing because we're scared, and we want this boss to die. You'll learn over time as a healer, you're DPSing not because, you know, you're trying to be cool or whatever. You're DPSing because you genuinely want the encounter to end. Alright, we got some birds going on. Everyone's taking some damage. We'll use our Ascendants here, just to make sure that we don't fall behind in healing. Gotta keep our Earth Shield on our tank. Looks like the boss is going down. Things aren't too scary. Alright, we have something on us, so we're going to press our Astral Shift. We don't know what it does, but it's some sort of bad thing. We're going to use our Fey Transfusion to try and build up a nice heal here. Nice. We'll press Healing Tide just because we're scared and the boss is almost dead. Once you see the boss getting low, it's a good idea to just throw down whatever you have. We lived. Okay, let's do this. toggle. Let's just put this here for now. This is going to look a little funky, but I just want to make sure that you guys can see. So I have a little health bar and mana bar here at the bottom of my screen. This is not normally how it looks, but I'll just throw it there for you guys to see. We can track our mana that way. Whew, that's a sigh of relief. Things are going well, actually. We're managing to keep everyone alive. Has it bothered you guys yet that my middle bar here is kind of like off center? Maybe we should fix that too. 4 spells. Oh. Okay, I did not fix it. That did not fix it. We got put in combat, so we must fight. One thing you'll find if you're trying to edit your UI and stuff while you're in a dungeon, if you ever get in combat, it makes it hard for you. Okay, this is doing a lot of damage, so I'm going to drop that Spirit Link Totem. And let's try one more time to unlock this. It feels like it's moving itself. Alright, this is good enough. Oh boy, our tank is pulling a lot of stuff. We're going to pump him with some heals. And now we got to get our Cloudburst down. Renew his Earth Shield. Okay, we don't have too many big buttons here, so we're pretty scared. We're pretty scared, but our tank is doing a great job. He realized that he's a little bit in trouble and he ran away a little bit to buy himself some time. Again, this will be a little hard for you if you're just sort of getting your bearings, but I can tell already that this tank knows what's going on, even though he's not super high item level. I think we lucked out a little bit. But again, you know, we put ourselves out there. You guys, when you guys are, you know, working on your character, you'd be too scared, right? You guys would have been way too scared to apply to that +3 key when you saw it in Group Finder. And look what happened. Now we're in a +6 because we applied to the +3. You just got to put yourself out there. You got to have the confidence. Remember what I said about getting yourself into runs. Alright, so you can tell this dungeon has taken quite a bit longer than the others, but hopefully the reward will make it worth it. I'm a little worried because we just got an item from our last dungeon. But what's also very, very good for me is that we have 2 hunters. So all 3 of us are using mail armor. So there's a chance... Oh boy, these guys are bombs, so we're going to get out of here. There's a chance that they get an item that they don't need. Alright, so now you can see how much damage this guy is doing if you're not doing this properly. Now this guy is starting to hurt. Here's our lubricator. Oh, we're actually fighting 2 of them at once. So our hunter used binding shot there to kind of stop these bombs from coming at us. That was pretty nice. So one thing a lot of abilities you can do is you can use line of sight to protect yourself. So you saw there was a guy over here that was casting, and my initial reaction, because he was pretty far away for me to do anything, is I walked over here behind this wall. And I believe these spells you can, use a wall to protect yourself. And it's a really good habit to be in as a healer, that if there's some spells being on you, that you run behind a wall or use whatever means you can to try and live. Avoid taking damage. Okay, so this is that button I was talking about that if you were an engineer you could deactivate. Oh man, our tank is just going. This is a very optimistic pull. I'm going to use my interrupt on the lubricator guy here since he seems pretty big. This looks pretty scary, so I'm going to drop a healing rain. We'll throw a healing tide. And we'll use our Fey transfusion here. Alright, we're making good time. Very, very happy with this run so far. What's funny is, we're going to do these runs and we're going to get a pretty decent chunk of score. Obviously, it's not going to be much. It's only going to be a couple hundred that we'll have after this. You know, we'll have like 200 or something, but when we apply to groups, then it's going to show our score. And so the more we put ourselves out there, the higher we can get our score. And then in turn, maybe we might be able to sneak into a few more groups now that we have a Mythic Plus score. Like the fact that we did some Mythic Plus runs means that when we apply to those Mythic Zero groups, it'll show our score on there. Oh boy, that was a big Z. Alright, we're taking some group damage, so we'll drop our Cloud Burst and our Healing Rain again. Holy smokes. Things are getting spicy. Okay, we need to run this through the boss. So I see my friend here, and I'm going to run on the other side of the boss to make sure the boss gets stunned by that little Z thing. Part of the deal that's going on with this boss is one of them uses mechanics on you, and then you kind of got to hit the other one with them. Uh-oh. Need to run over here and get... We're going to press our Spirit Walker since we need to be doing some running around here. It'll be a good time. Let's see if we can go right on top and click it real quick. Oh no! We're slow! I'm gonna press my Astral Shift for these bombs that are going off. We'll use our Spirit Link as well. Spirit Link, again, it's going to be our emergency button where we don't quite know what's going on, but we know we need to do some big heals quick. Honestly, I probably could have used the Spirit Link even before all those bombs started. Just because we knew we were going to be taking some group damage there. This mask guy can be pretty scary. And these packs also can be a little bit dangerous, so it looks like we're kind of assessing what we want to do. See what the tank decides. Just sit back and maybe put a couple Riptides up and get ready for action in case we decide to do something crazy. One thing you can do... okay, we waited all that time for this, huh? Okay, so I'm going to go over here and I'm going to activate this. Okay, we had to brave through a minefield there, but it needed to be done. I think that's what the tank had in mind. We're going to use our Bay Transfusion there to top the group. This is absolute chaos. We don't have much left in terms of cooldowns, too. Bursting is ticking. Our whole party is going nuts. Our hunter is flying off the edge. But I think we're okay. I think we're okay. We have Ascendance now too. I don't know at what point our Ascendance came up. Maybe it was up that whole time. If it was, I definitely should have pressed it. Oh boy. Alright, with bursting, this is gonna be pretty scary. So we know that our bursting is going to be scary. We know that each one of these mobs, when they die, are going to blow up. So I'm just doing my best to just do a ton of power healing here. We're going to press our Astral Shift as well. We're going to press our Ascendance. I'm using literally every button I have. Uh-oh. Okay. Unfortunately, our Demon Hunter's cheat death procced, and our Hunter's Pod Tender procced. So technically 2 of our allies died, but they have their cheat deaths or whatever you want to call them. So let's pretend like nobody died. One thing we could have done too is used our Fey Transfusion, but in order to use the healing component of it, we need to do this and do this channel to do the we need to do the damage part first to do the healing. And we were a little bit slow. I didn't think those mobs would die so quick. Now we can use our Fey Transfusion on this. Oh gosh, this is terrifying. And I'm gonna drop a Spirit Link. Okay. So I used my Spirit Link while I clicked on that that urn there. Just to make sure our tank could stay alive. We'll throw down our Healing Rain. Our Cloud Burst, get everything going. I see this bird coming, and remember, what do? We run to the tank. We run to the tank so he can get everything. Alright, this bursting is starting to tick, so I'm going to dispel myself. Oh my gosh, this bursting. This is terrifying. Oh no. This is a rough bursting. Luckily, we do have a hunter alive. Oh. Thanks. Wait a second. I just realized something that may be important information. So Priest has an ability called Mass Dispel. And the Mass Dispel can actually remove all of the bursting stacks from our party. So when he life gripped me, he reminded me that we actually have a Priest in this group. But that's okay, you know. In a low-level dungeon, we can't expect everyone to be doing everything perfectly. But a Mass Dispel from our Priest definitely would have been great. Alright, our mana is starting to run low. This tank is really working us. This tank is really giving us the juice. Got our Healing Rain down. Got our Cloud Burst. If we always have a Cloud Burst rolling, then we know we're going to have one for the bursting. Okay, let's use our Fey Transfusions. Use the healing part on the bursting. This boss is actually probably the hardest boss of the dungeon. So far, none of the bosses have been that scary. And we also have Bloodlust, so I'm not too worried. Looks like our tank is trying to run away, so I'm going to use our totem there to slow some of the mobs and help them out a little bit. Stun them and just buy them some space. So notice here, do I have drinks? So I'm actually using my drink here to get back more mana. So instead of coming with my team to fight, I'm using my drink to try and fill up my mana. Since this is just only a few mobs, they'll be just fine even without my healing. And now this way they won't need to wait for me when we go into the boss. Yeah, at the speed we were doing this part. The speed we were doing this part, we definitely needed to get a drink in to get some mana back at some point. Okay, we're definitely bloodlusting this guy. Okay, our hunter bloodlusted, that's fine too. So this puts a lightning on you, and then it jumps to the nearest person. So I'm gonna go over to this guy. Oh, he has the bomb. Alright, so he has both of these, so I'm gonna make sure I give him some big healing. Now I'm gonna walk over here. Okay, it went to me again. I'm gonna pop my defensive here, use my Fey Transfusion. And once this happens, we all jump in our portal. Now, since I already soaked the lightning a little bit, I'm gonna stay away. I'm gonna walk away from our lightning guy. Secret technology that we can jump in the air when we have that bomb on us. Oh boy, we're hurting bad. We're gonna use our ascendants to try and catch up here. Looks like we did it. One boss remaining. Now you see here our enemy forces count. Although we could go next to the final boss, we do need a little bit more mobs. And this is something that you'll run into again. It's totally fine in this situation. And we can just walk back in here. I think the most accessible mobs we can kill are the ones over here. But again, we probably just want to follow our tank. But we'll kind of push them in the right direction to make sure they realize that we need stuff. I think we might only need one bird. Oh man. I really need an item from this dungeon. I feel like it's not very likely considering we just got an item from the last dungeon, but holy smokes, I need an item from here. Okay, so this is the boss with the 4 portals that we gotta go into, and our tank says front left, heals with me. We're going with him. We've used 4 of our mana drinks. We probably didn't need to use that last one. On my normal characters, these drinks are very cheap, and so I just sort of spam them whenever I have an opportunity. I don't know how expensive they are when I have this little gold. Alright, everyone's here. Still plenty of time on the clock. Let's go. So we got these debuffs on everyone. We'll start by doing some AoE healing with our Cloudbursts and our Riptides, because I don't necessarily know what to expect. Okay, so our Hunter has this little icon, which means he got hit by something. We need to do moving and healing, so we're going to press our Spirit Walkers. Lots more debuffs. And throw down our Healing Tide too, just for a little bit of extra healing. This boss can kind of hurt the tank quite a bit. We need to try and give him a lot of heals. So front left is where we're going. Now a little tip here, we can put a flame shock on the boss right before we leave. And this will give us this boost to our lava burst that we can use on our guy right away. Let's throw down our Fate Transfusion too. Don't know how much damage we need. At some point this guy's going to be hard for us to fight, but it looks like us and our tank friend are taking him down pretty easily. Oh, we gotta click our totem. Okay, let's see. Now we can kind of look to see how everyone else is doing. We got those two. Uh oh, this one's gonna be close. He's clicking it. Nice. I think we did it. I think we completed +6 the other side. DPS the boss down before our team finds a way to die. Can just use our Ascendant since the boss is almost dead. Boom. Oh, that was big for us. Keystone Challenger. I don't know what this achievement does, but come on, give us some loot. Oh, we got a cape! Oh my god, and we got a conduit? Yo, let's go. This is a big upgrade for us. 223, upgrading from a 148. Holy smokes. And we get 50 gold. Yo, this Mythic Plus thing is pretty sweet. We want to exchange our key for a new one. We've already done this dungeon. Let's just... It's not a bad one to have, though. There's a weapon in here. And there's a ring in here. Let's save it. Let's save it. So, now there's no Leave Instance group. You can't do Leave Instance group in a Mythic Plus. Now we're just in the real world. So we're gonna... Let's take our camp... Oh, we can't return to camp for 22 minutes. Okay, I guess we're going to town. I guess we're going to Orbost. Thanks for watching. I hope you all enjoyed the video. I'll be releasing regular episodes, so make sure you subscribe to my channel if you aren't already, and click the bell to get notified when the next episode is out. I also come out with regular guides for healers in World of Warcraft, as well as videos explaining UI and all other sorts of things. If you enjoy content like this, I'd also highly recommend coming to check out my stream at twitch.tv/yumytv, where we're always gaming there. The link is in the description, and happy keying.